2025 can and will be your best year ever when you commit the time, talent, and the resources to learn, apply, and master the tools of proactive leaders.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York do more than just support our clients to pitch their businesses to investors access working capital at 0% APR. We also support our clients to grow and scale their businesses faster and cash flow optimize. Pitch Deck 101 LLC recent partnership with 10X Branding Marketing LLC and Global Capital Inc. out of the USA has enabled us to form unique partnership with multiple financial institutions, which means we can do even more to accelerate the success of our clients. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC give you the support you need to pitch to investors, access capital, access new markets, and grow and scale your business. Contact us now on 332-235-1099 for a free consultation.
You see, there are three things about proactive leaders that you need to learn, apply, and master. And that is the art of thinking ahead, the art of seeing beyond problems, and the art of taking informed action. The tools of proactive leaders is relevant whether you are attempting to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, whether you want to position yourself to build wealth, embrace a better quality of life, or early retirement. The ability to think ahead, see beyond problems, and take informed action to achieve predictable outcome is vital. So I'm saying you commit the time, talent, and the resources to learn, apply, and master this in 2025, and your life will be transformed. Today, I want to spend some time doing a deep dive into the very first tenet of proactive leadership, and that is the art of thinking ahead. What you want to do is really commit everything that you got to really learn, apply, and master the process of thinking ahead. And that is something that I want us to look into today. To master the ability to think ahead in the context of starting and scaling your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, a number of important concepts must be focused on. For example, if you're going to be attempting to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, you want to think ahead about who is your ideal client. The more you understand about your ideal client is what's going to set you up for success. And to identify your ideal client is to identify and know your ideal client based on issues like demographic statistics, psychographic statistics, and these essential factors that really helps you to better understand them. You want to clearly identify who you're serving, who you want to serve, because this is what's going to set you up to identify how to serve them at the highest level. And it is your ability to identify the ideal client and then to figure out how to serve them at the highest level is what's going to help you to truly innovate that brand to reach and exceed their expectations. But are you thinking ahead about these things? You're likely to fail if you're jumping into business without taking the time to truly identify your ideal clients and how to serve them at the highest level. Now, the second step that you really want to focus on is the concept that we call brand identification. Now that you have taken the time to identify who is the ideal client, you've taken the time to perhaps identify what are their specific needs, wants, and expectations, their dreams, hopes, and aspirations. You can now ask yourself, what is the best products and services that you can identify, you can innovate to not only reach their expectations, but possibly now exceed their expectations. The more clear you are about this is what's going to set you up for success. But you will not become clear about these things unless you train the mind to think ahead of these specific needs regarding to your ideal client. You want to take the time and train the mind to think ahead, to see beyond the problems, to take the informed action to achieve predictable outcome. And part of that process begins with mastering the process of thinking ahead. So far we have looked at thinking ahead about two concepts. One is the client identification. Who do you intend to serve? Second is brand identification. And that means what brand are you going to be innovating to introduce to the ideal client? The third concept that I really want you to focus on is what we call brand positioning. We see very often you innovate a product and you innovate a service, but you didn't spend enough time to truly identify the best way to position your product in front of the ideal client. And the inability to clearly define brand positioning, the inability to do this, the inability to think ahead of these issues is another factor why you can be significantly compromised in your effort to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand in 2025. You see, brand positioning helps you in multiple different ways. It helps you with visibility. It helps you with reach. It helps you with creating the opportunity to make impact. It helps you with the opportunity to get client conversion and cash flow optimization. It helps you to build confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of the ideal client. But if you're not thinking about these issues long before you're actually ready to position that brand in front of the ideal client, the possibility exists that you're going about business in all of the wrong way. And that's not something that you want to do when you want to start, when you want to scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. You want to take the time and ensure you have this body of knowledge. The fourth concept that I want you to consider here is the human resource needs. Very often your vision is compromised. That vision of starting your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand is compromised, not because the vision is bad, but it is compromised because you're not thinking about the critical human resources to move your vision forward. In this context, you should be thinking about your strategic tactical resources, strategic, tactical, and operational leadership. All three of these levels of human resources, of leadership for the organization should be thought about long before you start the business. Now think about this. You're starting a business, you want to scale a 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. And instead of taking the time to think tank and brainstorm that process, you simply start the process. And then you recognize that as you start to mobilize activities towards achieving your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, you start to recognize that you don't have the best human resources. You don't have reliable human resources. You don't have the resources with the critical know-how to help you to execute on the vision. What's going to happen there? All of these things, it's what's going to help you to compromise. And all of these things, when you do this, it is working against the very concept that we're talking about. Proactive leaders, they think ahead. And in thinking ahead, it's not just to say, I need the human resources to move the vision forward. You want to think ahead. What is the best human resources that I can attract and appoint and delegate responsibility through that can help me to realize the vision, that vision of attaining that 6, 7, and 9-figure brand in the shortest period of time. You need to think ahead about this. Perhaps in just hiring the average person to function in HR and public relation and in sales communication, perhaps you can say, I prefer to work with an influencer because it is better to work with influencers because they have clout. They have visibility, they have audience retention, and that can significantly push the visibility of your brand, and it can significantly optimize the potential of that business to cash flow. But are you thinking ahead of these things? You see, when you learn to master the art of proactive leadership, you're in a much better position to win when it comes to starting and scaling your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, when it comes to building wealth, when it comes to embracing a better quality of life, and when it comes to early retirement. Are you thinking ahead? Are you applying the tools of proactive leaders to position yourself for greatness in 2025? So we have covered 4 important concepts as they relate to thinking ahead and as it relates to starting and scaling your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. In today's program, I'm just talking about, your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, but the concepts is applicable across various spectrum. So we talk about client identification, we talk about brand identification, we talk about brand positioning, we talk about human resource needs. To move your vision forward, you need to have the right human resources that are strategically placed at your strategic, tactical, and operational level of leadership. Are you thinking ahead? Or are you just thinking about, I need human resources to fill these positions? That's not necessarily going to get you where you want to go. You need to think ahead of the best human resources that can help you optimize your success in the shortest possible time. And this, I'm doing a high level overview. I can go so deep into this subject matter because as we talk about human resources to move a business vision forward, it has a lot of moving parts. It has a lot of moving parts because the right human resources can not only help you to attract investors, they can help you make money and save money in that whole process. So the right human resources can truly set you up for success. So this is something that you need to think about and think about it very deeply, very thoroughly. And if you don't know how, my advice is to get a mentor, get a coach, get a sponsor, become part of supportive communities that can help you make better, smarter, wiser decisions. You owe this to yourself in 2025. I genuinely believe that 2025 can be your best year ever. You need to learn these tools. You need to apply these tools, and you need to master these tools to optimize better performance outcome, higher predictable outcome. The high reward, the measurable results, the predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. Are you thinking ahead of all of these important concepts that can literally transform your life? There's a couple other things that I will briefly look at because I do believe that these are things for you to think about as you start to think about getting into business. Starting a business can be very exciting. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of heavy lifting. But if you go about this in the right way, if you learn what is the 20/80 rule and how to apply this 20/80 rule, you would learn the power of delegation. Are you thinking ahead of all of these things that can truly set you up for success? Because if you're able to delegate the 80%, it means that you have more time free up to focus on the 20% of that project that may be the most important thing to look at. Optimize the success of the vision. But some people you micromanage. You have a vision and you're micromanaging every aspect of that project. And what's happening there? You're spreading yourself thin, you're stretching yourself thin. And when you do that, you undermine your potential to be more successful. There's technical resource needs. Are you thinking about the technical resources that can help you optimize your success? Your success to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. Your success to position yourself to build wealth. Your success to embrace a better quality of life. Your success to might be early retirement. The right technical resources can truly set you up for success. And let me give a brief example of technical resources. Imagine that you're a lecturer and you have to show up day after day, week after week, month after month to dispense with your lectures using one format over a period of time. But if you don't show up there physically, you are not using technology as an aid to help you with this. So if you fall sick or something goes wrong, the students lose out on that day of training. Technical resources may help you to capture your lecture series. So in the absence of you being physically there, your student has access to that information, to that body of knowledge because of technology. But this is not the only thing that can happen. Because of the fact that you have now adopted technological resources to optimize the game, the right technology can also help you to optimize the monetization process of what you're doing. Because now your lecture series is now accessible to the world virtually. And with the world getting access to that, paying a small fee, it's another stream of income. I'm just using this as an example. But guess what else? It now frees up more time. So perhaps you don't have to now commit 4 hours per week in the classroom. you can now commit that 4 hours to doing some community service or spending more time with, your loved ones or focusing on additional income streams. Are you thinking ahead of these strategies that can truly position you for success? Now, in conclusion, I want to say this. I want to start where I began. 2025 can and will be your best year ever when you commit the time, talent, and the resources to truly learn, apply, and master what is proactive leadership. You have to adopt these tools to your business or your life ecosystem because proactive leadership is not just relevant to business. The ability to think ahead, the ability to see beyond problems, the ability to take informed action is not only relevant to business, it's relevant to your life too. And once you adopt these tools to your life, you will start to see massive transformation that is taking place in your life. But remember this. I'm doing this program not because I just want you to listen to me, not because I'm the most handsomest guy in the world and I want you to look at me and enjoy this conversation. I'm saying what I'm saying because I want you to listen, to learn, to apply, and to apply and master because I want you to build wealth. The ultimate play here is to provide you with a content of information that you can adopt and apply and position yourself to build wealth. And if you don't know how, when you don't know how, get a mentor, get a coach, get a sponsor, become part of a supportive community that can help push you forward in the right direction. In conclusion, I want to say this. If you're that rising star who want to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand, you need access to capital, DM me. I'll be happy to give you that support. If you're the kind of individual who want to position yourself to build wealth and attain financial independence, we have a community to give you that support. If you're the kind of person that wants to embrace a better quality of life, and I don't know who don't want to embrace a better quality of life, we have a community here to serve you. If you're the kind of person that's thinking about early retirement, we can help you. All right? We have a beautiful program titled the Income Audit Analytics. I want you to go over to my other channel, which is called 7-Figure Media, at 7-Figure Media. Find that channel and spend some time learning what is the Income Audit Analytics. Remember, 2025 can and will be your best year ever when you commit the time, talent, and your resources to learn, apply, and master proactive leadership. Today, we have looked at the first element of proactive leadership, which is thinking ahead. In the next broadcast, we perhaps will look at the art of seeing beyond problems and the art of taking informed action. You no longer just want to take action. You have taken action in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. And you can look back at that historical data and see how far it has taken you. Now it is time for you to try informed action. Informed action is where you have the science, the proven theory, and the best practices. Informed action is what's going to give you the high reward, the measurable results, the predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. So if you want change in your life, you know which door to knock on. Be blessed, and I see you in the next broadcast.
Gary Thompson, the sales communication professional, best-selling author and private equity investor, says, master the client conversion ladder and optimize your business success. He continues, many rising stars in business try to get from A to Z in a split second in the client conversion journey. That approach will set you up for frustration, time, money, and effort being wasted. The alphabet has 26 letters. Each letter has great significance in words formation and in human expression. The client conversion process has many steps, and when these steps are overlooked, it negatively influences your ability to attract and communicate with the ideal client. You must invest in breaking through the know, like, and trust barriers that allow you to win in business. He went on to say, the first step in your client conversion journey begins with relationships. 1. Fill the relationship gaps. 2. Leverage relationships to overcome client rejection. 3. And position your brand to stand out in the market. Gary wants you to be successful and invites you to call us today to help you master the client conversion ladder, optimize your brand recognition, and increase the cash flow of your business.